Hi everyone, you welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah. On today's video, we'll be sewing this beautiful blouse. I drop a link below on the comment section on how to draft and cut this blouse. If you've not seen it, please go to the comment section. Thank you. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. So guys, let's jump right into it. So on this video, we'll be sewing this beautiful top. The first thing you have to do is to cut out your wording. I have a video on the channel on how to pad your blouse. Please check on the video. I'll put the link below on this comment section so you can watch the video on how to pad your blouse. So now I've cut out my wording. I'm making use of the add wording. So this is the center front. From your center front, you come down by 1 inches. Your wording should not get to the up this way. No, you create a space for your sewing allowance that use and turn the neck line. So now after doing this, now the next we have to do is to go and sew the wording to the center front down. After doing that, you do this too also on your side front. We join the side front and the center front on 1/2 inches. When you want to join this, you start from the hem of the blouse. So now I'll go and join this, and I'll do the same thing also on this other side of the front, and I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. I'm through with the joining of the side front and the center fronts together. You can see how it looks. I join on 1/2 inches to the armhole, and this is the front of the blouse. Now the next we have to do is to keep this blouse, the front of the blouse aside. I'll be working on the back of the blouse. Now I'll go and join my center back and the side back together on 1/2 inches to this armhole here we have here. I'll do this for this side of the back and the other back, and I will tell you what to do next. All right guys, I'm through with the joining of my center front to the side front, and I've done the same thing also on the back also. I've joined the center back to the side back. The next we have to do now is to do bust caging on the front lining. So I've used my pencil to draw out where I'll be using the Virgilin boning to encase. So now for the caging, one boning will go round under the bust this way, one at the center, one here, and one up here also. I will do this and show you what it looks like. If you want a detailed video, I'll be dropping that soon, and I'll be making use of this 1/2 inches Virgilin boning to do the caging. So now let me do that and show you what it looks like when I'm done. I'm through with the bust caging for the front. You can see how it looks, and I've done the same thing also on the back. This is my back lining. I've this on the boning. I encase the boning for the back. You can see how it looks. I sew on the joining we have. That's what I did. And for the front also, I did the same thing. I sew boning here, and yeah, this is Virgilin boning, the 1/2 inches one. But I would advise when you want to make yours, to make use of the 0.25 Virgilin boning. So now we'll keep this aside. Now the next I have to do is to join the back and the front at the shoulder. I'll go and join this on 1/2 inches and tell you what to do when I'm done. I'm done joining the shoulders together, and I've given it a good press. Press the seams open. So now I'll go and turn the neckline. I'll make sure the shoulders are together this way, and sew on 1/2 inches. I'll first sew to the back neckline, then I will sew to the front neckline. I'm through with the sewing of the neckline. Now we'll give this a launch and give it a good press and tell you what to do next. I'm through with the pressing of the blouse. Now we'll join the fabric to fabric, lining to lining. So now I'll go and join the sides on 1 inches, and I'll do the same thing also on the lining. This side that has shoulder, I will join it on 1 inches. Then I will tell you what to do next when I'm done. I'm through with the joining of the side of my blouse. You can see how it is, and I've given it a good press. This is the back of the blouse. So now the next we have to do is to keep this blouse aside, so we'll work on the sleeve. So now I'll make use of this pattern paper for my sleeve. The first thing you have to do is to bring the blouse back, and you measure around your armhole here from the joining of the of your blouse here on the side. You come this way to the shoulder. I have 11 inches. So my shoulder is 11 inches. That means when it's together is 21. So now you divide your 21 by 4. So 21 divided by 4 will give me 5.25. I came in by 1 inches. So this line here will be my center of the sleeve. So on this center, from the center of the sleeve now, I'll come here and drop 5.25. Then I will add 0.25 to this to make it 5.5. The length of my cap sleeve, I want the length of my cap sleeve should be 4.5. So this is 4.5 here. Then I will add 1 inches for seam allowance. 1 inches for seam allowance. Then 1 inches, this 1 inches, we use it for the shaping of the sleeve. The cap sleeve have this shape. Everything all together now would be 6.75. Okay, so now this is the length of the sleeve. So now this 5.5 we have here, I'll just connect it back to my length of the sleeve like this. Back on the center of the sleeve here, I'll come up by 1 inches. That's the 1 inches we add. Then I will just come on this side of my sleeve and shape it back to this 1 inches mark we have here. So now I'll cut this out. I'm done with the cutting of my sleeve. You can see how it is. I've cut out the lining and the main fabric. The other side, that is asymmetric neckline, we're using off shoulder, and I've cut out my off shoulder sleeve. I have a detailed video on how to cut off shoulder sleeve on the channel. So now let's sew this sleeve. We'll go and sew the hem of the sleeve on 1/2 inches, then we turn it to the front. And for the off shoulder sleeve also, I added my seam allowance already on the pattern. We'll go and sew the off shoulder sleeve, the up and the hem of the off shoulder sleeve. I'll do this and tell you what to do next. I'm through with the sewing of my cap sleeve, and I've done the same thing also on the off shoulder sleeve. I've turned it to the front. This is the lining and this is the main fabric. This is the lining, this is the main fabric. When I mean lining, this is the front and this is the back of the sleeve. This is the back of the sleeve and this is the front of the sleeve. Now the next we have to do is to give this cap sleeve a lunge, the center this way. Now we'll bring in the blouse. To fix the cap sleeve, from the joining at the shoulder here, you come in from this joining here and mark 3 inches, and I will use this pencil because this cloth, I don't want it to be too dirty, to mark. So now I'll go and sew from the inside of my blouse. Yeah, from the inside this way, from this 3 inches mark I have here. I've already given the bits of lunge here. So now I'll go and sew from, I'll start to sew from the joining at the sides here. When you're sewing, you make sure you fold the joining at the side this way so it will not be too bulky when you're done sewing. So now I'll do this and show you what it looks like. I'm through with the sewing of the armhole, the armhole, a bit of the armhole. You can see how it is. Now fixing the cap sleeve. So now you launch the center of your cap sleeve the way I did mine, and now bring the joining of the shoulder and the launch at the sleeve this way, and you now fix it to this place here where we stop the sewing. That's what you do. But by the time you're doing it, you just be putting a bit of gathers there. I'll do this and show you what it looks like. I'm through with the fixing of the cap sleeve. You can see how it looks. So now the next we have to do is to fix the off shoulder sleeve. Now to sew this, you bring your sleeve and you do fabric to fabric on the back this way. Let me pin this down. Then I'll bring the other side of the sleeve to the front this way, fabric to fabric also, and I'll pin down. So now I'll go and sew this on 1/2 inches here and the other side, and I will tell you what to do next. I'm through with the sewing of my sleeve. You can see the way I sew. This is it. So now the next we have to do is to turn the sleeve with the lining. So now you flip your lining to the back this way, and you make sure the joining at the sides of your lining are together like this. Then you pin down. So after pinning down the sides of the blouse together, now I'll go and sew from this side that the seam I sew before is showing, and I will tell you what to do next when I'm done. I'm through turning the sleeve with the lining. You can see how it looks now. It looks very neat. I dropped a video on the channel on how to sew a corset. That video, I share more light on how to sew down your loop. But this loop, I didn't put boning channel on the loop. I just sew it the way it is. That's how it looks on the thumbnail. So now the next I have to do is to turn my lining with the loop inside out like this. So now I'll go and sew this down on 1/2 inches. I'll do this for this side of the back and the other side. Then I will tell you what to do next. Now we have to sew the hem of the blouse. To sew your hem of the blouse, I cut out 2 inches of the main material, not the lining. Now I'll use it to pipe the hem of my blouse. I'll go and sew this down, then I will tell you what to do next when I'm done. I'm through with the sewing of the strap to the blouse. You can see how it is. Now we'll turn it to the back this way and use hemming gum to hold it down. This is how the hem of the blouse will look now. That's what I will do. I'll go and give this a good press. Then we can't leave the sleeve this way. I cut out a strip that I'll use to pipe my sleeve. So I'll sew it from this side here of the sleeve, and I will turn it to this side this way. This is how it will look when I'm done. Now we have to keep the blouse aside and work on the design on the front of the blouse. I cut out 2.25. That's the width of the strap I cut out, and the length is by 78. So now I'll go and sew this on 0.25. So for the piping of the sleeve, you can see the way I sew. I place it where the sleeve is. This is my sleeve here. You can see the way I pipe it. Now we'll turn it to this other side this way, and I'll go and sew this down. I'm done with the sewing of the strap. You can see how it is. Now I'll turn it to the front. For the crinoline, I'll be making use of 1 inches crinoline, and this is it. But you know, like this now is too light. When passing it through the casing, it will be too light. So you have to fold it into 2 this way. I'll cut my crinoline to the length of the strap I have. Then I'll fold it into 2 this way, and I will sew it down on the 2 sides. And I will show you what it looks like when I'm through. I'm through with the sewing of the crinoline. You can see how it looks. See to the strap this way. You fold your crinoline this way so it can enter the strap. I'm done passing the crinoline into the strap. You can see how it is. I later removed that piping I did on the crinoline because it makes this place too bulky. Now the next we have to do is to create the modest panel. So this is my lining for the modest panel, and this is the main fabric, and the up of my modest panel is by 8 inches, and the hem of the modest panel is by 7 inches. So now I'll go and sew this on the up, the down, and the sides. I'm through with the sewing of my modest panel, and I've already give this a good press. Now I'll bring the blouse, this side of my blouse. I'll place the modest panel this way, and I will sew on the front down like this. I'm through with the sewing of the modest panel. You can see how it is. Now for the lacing, I'll be making use of this fancy bias to lace the back of my blouse. But if you don't have the fancy bias, you can make use of bridal satin. I have a detailed video on how to create a loop at the back of your corset and how to turn your loop when you make use of the bridal satin. But for here, I'm making use of this fancy bias. I bought 3 yards of this. Now display this on my dress form for you to see. I'm through with the creating of the design. You can see how beautiful this blouse looks. And at the other end that we used to turn the strap, I used my trimmings to cover the end there. Thank you, and thank you guys for watching to the end. I really appreciate you all. See you on the next one. God bless you.